Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for this collective guidance from Spirit. This is a timeless reading. All my readings are timeless readings. So, whenever you see these, is exactly when you're supposed to see them. And these are general readings. So, take what resonates and then leave what doesn't. Okay? It's guidance. So, if it resonates with you, if you intuitively feel like following it would help you, go ahead, do it. If it doesn't, just leave it. Yeah? And if it does resonate with you, if it does help you in any way or a loved one, please hit like, share, and subscribe and help my current subscribers and me become a much larger community along with you. Okay, great. And then what else? Nothing. Yeah, let's get started. So I shuffle the decks right before the reading. Yeah. And my current deal with Spirit is as I'm shuffling the decks, whatever cards fall out of those decks will be incorporated in the reading in the collective message for that day. Okay. So these are the cards that fell out of their respective decks today. Uh, we have here a reverse Knight of Wands. Sorry, a reverse King of Wands. That's interesting that I ended up saying Knight. Um, okay, so there is definitely a lot of energy, a lot of passion, a lot of just charisma, wanting to move and do something, but it's all just bottled up. Yeah, it's all pent up, or that energy is being directed in a very mindless way. Okay. Why I say that is there's another reason I'm saying that is this is the fairy ring is a major arcana card from the Harmony Nice Tarot. And look at how beautiful it is. Yeah, you just want to jump through that hole, don't you? It's just so, it's got these beautiful like flowers and mushrooms and a little bit of grass, just a raven just standing there, candles. It's really, really like, it's almost like calling out to me. So, this card talks about temptation, talks about irresponsibility, talks about falling into your old habits and patterns. Yeah. I say this in almost every reading, I think, that growth and healing isn't linear. There's going to be days when you regress, there's going to be times when you feel like, I thought I dealt with that shit, and you're going to be like, oh, there's still unresolved stuff from it. So, and when you're vulnerable, when you're having a hard time, when you have so much energy that you don't really have a place, a nice mindful place to take to, um, known paths or known places, even if we know that they are toxic or they are bad for us, uh, as just because they are known, they feel comfortable and they feel cozy even at times. Yeah, they feel attractive at times, because if the other option is the unknown, then the known path, even if it's toxic, sort of feels like the better of the two. um, and I think this spread is here, and I am here, I feel like, to just remind you very, very kindly to acknowledge those old habits and patterns, and to understand that if this energy is building up inside you and you're feeling like restless, you want to use it, you want to do something with it. Reverse King of Wands also talks about sort of practicing restraint. Yeah. Just because you have something doesn't mean you need to immediately spend it. Yeah. Is there a way maybe that you can let that energy build up until you see a clear path, clear mindful path, consciously see that path and decide that, yeah, that's where I want to use it, that's what I want to do with this energy. um, and can you sit with that energy for a bit? Yeah. I also do think that one of the reasons maybe this could be happening, like there's a high chance that this is happening, that you have all this energy inside you and nowhere to put it to, like nowhere productive to put it to. So it's going to all the wrong places, I feel like, is because maybe this energy is inside you to help you deal with your old patterns, and maybe this time it's like once and for all. Yeah, maybe there's that unresolvedness to just like bits and pieces left over of you having dealt with your old patterns and habits that were toxic for you, that were not really useful for you. And maybe all of this energy here is it's trying to help you deal with those patterns and get away from them. Yeah, or put those behind you. Like, let me use better language. I don't like anything I've said so far about those patterns. They're not wrong, they're not bad. I don't want to use those words. There are just some um, things that serve a purpose. Yeah, and once they're done serving that purpose, constantly going back to those things that once were good, yeah, can also become like harmful for us. So the patterns, the habits that you're going back to, have they served their purpose? Have you already brought yourself to a point where you've outgrown them now, where they aren't really serving your highest good anymore, your higher purpose anymore? Yeah. And if that's true, if you sit down, and if you think for a second, and what comes to you is that, yeah, I need, I've I'm done with those parts, and I'm past them now, I'm beyond them now, and now I would like to outgrow those patterns once and for all. Then I feel like that's why all of this pent up energy is building within you. Yeah, I feel like that's what the energy's purpose is. But we are so used to using our energy for tangible actions and tangible purposes, that sometimes when we have a lot of energy that maybe we are supposed to use, to deal with something that's very intangible, that's emotional, psychological, mental. Yeah, we sort of feel like we're not really using any energy. Yeah, but it takes a lot of energy to heal mental patterns and emotional patterns and psychological patterns. So yeah, fairy ring, the growth side of it is also, it reminds us to acknowledge um, the patterns, but also acknowledge what we need to outgrow those patterns. Yeah, it reminds us to educate ourselves. It reminds us that there's therapy if we choose, if we should choose to use it. There's meditation if we should choose to use it. Physical exercise would really help. I would highly recommend currently like physical exercises that have a lot of mindfulness in them, like maybe yoga, tai chi. Tai chi, I know, isn't really like heavy physical exercise, like you wouldn't substitute for going to the gym, but maybe some people can, maybe they're just that good at focus. But yeah, like it's physical movement, it's external activity that helps you focus internally. Yeah, so something, some form of exercise, some form of physical movement that encourages internal focus, internal um, I don't even like your inner power, almost like building and rebuilding and cultivating your inner power, focusing on that. Yeah, so that's what I feel like this spread is trying to tell us. This card fell out with the fairy ring. It's an extra card from the growth and healing spread. It's a two of summer, which is the which is in Rider Waite, this would be like the cup suit almost. It's about your heart, your relationships, your intuition. The two talks about partnerships. So it could be partnerships at work, it could be partnerships at home. And is this like pent up energy? Is it spilling into your relationships? Is it making tougher on your partners to deal with you because you're having a hard time directing your energy in to productive paths? I don't know if that sentence grammatically made sense, but I hope you know what I mean. Um, so there's definitely all of that. There's a key line here, right? So it's almost like, I feel like this card's imagery is trying to tell us that maybe the key to resolving this, yeah, along with therapy, along with meditation, along with mindful physical exercises, could lie in the relationship um, that is actually maybe suffering because of your current patterns. Yeah. So if there's any of that happening, or um, if you're dealing with a partner that's going through this right now, if that's who's watching this video right now, um, yeah, there's some kind of a key to resolving, I feel like, this in this dynamic, in this relationship. Yeah. Um, so, yeah, like if you want to explore more of that, if you want to contemplate a little bit more about this reading, that would really help. Um, there's also this spell card, that's why I've kept it upright today, because it's like just straight up talking about breaking bad habits. Yeah. And I feel like it's like they're really like, all the cards here are really in sync right now. Okay. This card also, it's a door that's like just slightly open. Yeah. And it talks about this, it's called the sacred lotus. It talks about compassion in action, the chosen tool. I see now the lotus in your spirit's jewel. So I wonder if this card is sort of also reminding you to be compassionate to yourself. Yeah. Um, Falling for your old patterns, or falling for your toxic habits, like old toxic habits that you thought you had left behind, uh, just falling for them again can be quite frustrating. I know from personal experience, as well as just like simple logic. If we feel like we've left something behind and it keeps coming back, it like almost feels like if it was poking you before, now it almost feels like a stab. Yeah, it almost feels like a failure on your part. And I'm sorry if at any point in this reading that's what you thought I was trying to say. It really wasn't. It's absolutely understandable. It's not a linear process. There's always going to be like one step back, two steps forward. Yeah. Or I think it's two steps back but one step forward. But good thing I messed that up, right? Maybe it's a sign, like one step back, two steps forward. That's how you're progressing right now. So like that's a better deal than two steps back, one step forward. Um, so yeah, like lotuses come out of mud, right? But then they just, when once they bloom, yeah, once they become their full bloom, like fully blossomed versions, they aren't just, it's not just the flower that's beautiful, but even like our perspective of looking at the mud that it came from changes, right? Like we don't look at the mud as like something dirty anymore. Like we understand that the purpose of the mud was that the lotus had to bloom out of it. Yeah. So it's almost like that. Like if there are people from your past, or like that you had left behind, or like just maybe your old toxic habits are uh, related to some relationships or people. It's sort of like the lotus thing I'm talking about is, once you fully blossom, once you fully become yourself, it's also going to help the people that you've like that you had to leave behind, or toxic patterns that you had to leave behind. Yeah. So it's almost like it helps, it's probably going to help those things or those people understand their own value. Yeah. Just by looking at you, just by seeing you and being like, oh, that's where this person came from, but look how far they've gotten now. Yeah. So if any of this is resonating with you, have compassion for yourself, have compassion for the people you are probably frustrated with right now. I wonder if it's a partner, if it's a relationship. Yeah. um yeah. Okay, so there's all of that, and then I'm quickly going to read to you what the angel card is saying. It's saying release and surrender. Yeah, look at all that beautiful purple, a little bit of yellow. Just, yeah, okay, let's read the card super quickly, and then that'll be it for today's reading. Yeah. We shower you with blessings of our radiant love. Open your arms and release the challenges that you've held tightly gripped within your hands. Open your hands, arms, and heart to our love and assistance. Yeah. The angels bring this card to you because you've been trying to fix this situation single handedly. They'd love to help you and answer your prayers, but first you need to surrender and release the situation. Surrender simply means that you're tired of struggling. It means emotionally letting go, with faith that the divine wisdom of spirit, which includes your higher self, can do a better job. Surrender doesn't mean that you're giving up or that you want to be controlled. Through surrender, you'll be assured of a better outcome. If you need help with surrender, ask the angels to assist you. Additional meanings for this card: don't worry about how your prayer will be answered. Let the universe figure out the details. Be willing to ask for help. Release tension and the need to control, and things will go better. Avoid power struggles in your relationship. Simply own your power and you won't have to fight for it. Yeah. So that's all I have for today's reading. If it resonated with you, if you have more questions, DM me. If you know me personally, put it in the comments down below and I'll try my best to help you. And hit the thumbs up button and I don't know. Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. And I'll be here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I'll see you all then. All right. Bye.